The foundation of peace is within you. This simple yet profound truth holds the key to a life of calmness, balance, and emotional resilience. In a world constantly filled with noise, chaos, and unpredictability, it's easy to look for external sources of peace. Perhaps in people, in places, or in material possessions. But the truth is, peace doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. It's an internal state of mind, an attitude that you can cultivate no matter what is going on around you. We often find ourselves seeking peace in the wrong places. We think that if we just get that promotion, if we move to a new city, or if we have the perfect relationship, then we'll be at peace. While these things can bring temporary happiness or comfort, they don't provide lasting peace. External circumstances are always in flux. Situations change, people change, and even the world around us changes. Therefore, if your peace is dependent on external factors, you will always find yourself vulnerable to stress and instability. The truth is, peace comes from mastering your internal environment. It's about learning how to control your thoughts, emotions, and reactions regardless of the situations you face. It's about understanding that while you can't control what happens to you, you have the power to choose how you respond. Every day, we are presented with choices. We can choose to react in anger, frustration, or fear, or we can choose to respond calmly with grace and understanding. This decision to choose calmness is where true peace begins. Training your mind to find peace within yourself requires practice and patience. It's about developing awareness of your thoughts and emotions, recognizing when you are getting swept away by negativity, and then consciously choosing to bring yourself back to a place of calm. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner peace is mindfulness. When you practice mindfulness, you create a space between stimulus and reaction. This pause allows you to choose how you want to respond to any situation, whether it's a stressful work deadline, a disagreement with a loved one, or an unexpected challenge in your day. Instead of reacting impulsively, you give yourself the power to respond thoughtfully and calmly. It's also important to recognize that true peace isn't the absence of conflict or stress. Life will always present challenges and difficulties. Peace doesn't mean that you never experience anxiety, frustration, or difficulty. Rather, it's about learning how to navigate these challenges without letting them disturb your inner equilibrium. It's about developing resilience, the ability to remain calm and composed even in the face of adversity. When you realize that peace is not dependent on the external world, but instead is something you can create within yourself, you begin to experience a freedom that no external circumstance can ever provide. Control the controllables. This phrase is simple yet holds immense power in its application to everyday life. At its core, it's about focusing your energy and attention on the things you have control over, and letting go of the things you don't. The world can be chaotic, and there are countless things that we can't change or influence, from the behavior of other people to global events. But within this vast ocean of uncertainty, there is always a small island of things we can control, and this is where we should focus our efforts. When we try to control everything around us, we set ourselves up for frustration and stress. It's an exhausting and futile pursuit because ultimately, many of the circumstances we face in life are outside our sphere of influence. We cannot control the weather, the traffic, the economy, or the actions of others. Yet we often waste valuable time and energy trying to manipulate these uncontrollable factors. This constant struggle leads to feelings of helplessness, anxiety, and burnout. Instead of trying to control everything, the key is to shift our focus toward the things that are truly within our control. The first thing we can control is our mindset. We have the power to decide how we view the world and how we react to it. Every day we face challenges, but how we respond to them is entirely up to us. If we train our minds to approach difficulties with patience and resilience, we start to see every setback as an opportunity for growth, rather than an insurmountable obstacle. Our thoughts shape our reality, and by controlling our mindset, we can navigate through life's turbulence with calmness and clarity. Another area we have control over is our actions. We may not have control over the results of every action, but we certainly have control over the effort we put in. We can control how much time we devote to our goals, the level of discipline we apply to our routines, and how consistently we work toward what we want. The outcomes of our efforts might not always match our expectations, but the satisfaction that comes from knowing we've given our best is a powerful source of inner peace. Time is another resource we have control over. We cannot control how much time we have, but we can control how we choose to spend it. The way we allocate our time directly impacts our productivity, relationships, and well-being. By prioritizing what truly matters and focusing on what aligns with our values and goals, we ensure that we're investing our time in ways that move us closer to a fulfilling life. When we waste time on things that don't contribute to our growth or happiness, we undermine our peace of mind. We also have control over our habits. Small, consistent actions add up over time to shape our lives. Whether it's eating healthy, exercising, meditating, or reading, we have the ability to form habits that support our well-being and help us reach our long-term objectives. By making intentional choices in our daily routines, we build a strong foundation for success, both personally and professionally. Finally, we have control over how we treat others. While we cannot control the behavior of others, we can choose to treat people with kindness, empathy, and respect. Our relationships are shaped by the way we show up in them. When we act with integrity and compassion, we create an environment of trust and understanding, regardless of how others behave. In summary, controlling the controllables means focusing on the aspects of life where your actions, decisions, and mindset can make a difference. It's about recognizing that while you can't control everything, you have the power to shape your own experience by focusing on what you can control. By doing so, you can cultivate a sense of peace, purpose, and fulfillment, even in the midst of life's uncertainties. It's not the situation, it's your perception of it. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of how we experience life and the challenges that come with it. Every day we encounter situations that can be stressful, frustrating, or even overwhelming. But what truly determines how we navigate these moments is how we choose to perceive them. Our perceptions shape our reality, and how we interpret events, people, and circumstances ultimately dictates the emotional and mental response we have to them. The key to understanding this concept is recognizing that no situation, no matter how challenging or difficult, is inherently good or bad. It's our thoughts and beliefs about those situations that create the emotional responses we experience. For example, two people might face the same stressful event, such as a difficult project at work, but one may perceive it as an opportunity for growth and learning, while the other may see it as a threat and become overwhelmed with anxiety. The situation hasn't changed, but the way each individual perceives it shapes their experience of it. Our perception is influenced by a variety of factors, including our past experiences, beliefs, values, and even our current emotional state. If we have a tendency to view the world through a lens of fear or negativity, we are more likely to perceive challenges as insurmountable obstacles. On the other hand, if we choose to adopt a mindset of optimism and resilience, we begin to see problems as temporary and solvable. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering, as it gives us the ability to choose how we respond to life's ups and downs. One of the most powerful ways to change our perception is to reframe the situation. Reframing involves taking a step back and viewing an event from a different angle. Instead of seeing a challenging situation as something that's happening to you, try to see it as something that's happening for you. Every challenge can teach us valuable lessons, and every setback can offer opportunities for personal growth. By choosing to focus on the potential benefits of a difficult situation, we shift our perception from one of defeat to one of opportunity. The stories we tell ourselves about the events in our lives are also crucial in shaping our perceptions. If we constantly tell ourselves that life is unfair, that we are victims of circumstances, or that we're not capable of handling difficulties, then we reinforce those beliefs and our perception of the world becomes one of helplessness. But if we choose to tell ourselves empowering stories, stories of resilience, strength, and the ability to overcome, we begin to perceive the world in a more positive light. We start to see ourselves as capable, resourceful individuals who can face any challenge head-on. Perception is also deeply connected to our emotional well-being. When we allow ourselves to view situations through the lens of fear, anger, or frustration, we create a cycle of negative emotions that can be hard to break. However, when we choose to perceive situations with a calm, open mind, we create emotional space for clarity and peace. But this doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending they don't exist. Rather, it's about choosing to acknowledge them without letting them control our emotions. Emotional resilience is built, not inherited. It is a skill that we develop over time through our experiences, choices, and the way we respond to the challenges life throws at us. Resilience doesn't come naturally to everyone, nor is it something that we're born with. It's something that's shaped through our mindset, our habits, and our ability to persevere in the face of adversity. While some individuals may appear naturally more resilient, the truth is that anyone can cultivate emotional resilience with practice and commitment. Life is full of ups and downs, and how we navigate these moments is what determines our emotional strength. It's not the absence of hardship that makes us resilient. Rather, it's how we respond to the difficulties we encounter. People who are emotionally resilient don't avoid challenges, but they approach them with a mindset that allows them to grow from the experience rather than being defeated by it. They don't let setbacks define them. Instead, they view adversity as an opportunity for growth and personal development. Building emotional resilience begins with self-awareness. The first step is to understand that we have control over how we respond to our emotions. While we can't always control what happens to us, we can control our reactions. When faced with a challenging situation, we can choose to react with fear, frustration, or hopelessness. Or we can choose to respond with patience, perspective, and determination. The more we practice responding in a balanced and thoughtful way, the stronger our emotional resilience becomes. Another key to building emotional resilience is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth rarely happens in our comfort zones. The more we challenge ourselves to step outside of what feels familiar and safe, the more we build emotional strength. It's important to remember that failure and setbacks are an inevitable part of the human experience. When we face challenges head-on rather than avoiding them, we develop a deeper understanding of our inner strength. Each time we get up after a fall, we build more emotional resilience. Support from others also plays a significant role in emotional resilience. While resilience is something we cultivate internally, it's important to surround ourselves with people who offer encouragement, understanding, and guidance. Social connections provide us with the emotional resources we need to cope with stress and adversity. Resilient individuals often lean on their support networks when times get tough, knowing that it's okay to ask for help and seek comfort when needed. It's also essential to maintain a positive mindset when building emotional resilience. This doesn't mean ignoring negative emotions or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Rather, it's about maintaining hope and optimism, even in the face of challenges. Resilient individuals focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems, and they remind themselves that difficult times are temporary. By reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, they are able to maintain their emotional strength in the most trying situations. Building emotional resilience is a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not something that is simply given to us. It's forged through experience, perseverance, and a commitment to personal growth. Every setback, every hardship, and every challenge provides us with a chance to build our emotional resilience. The more we practice bouncing back from adversity, the stronger and more capable we become. Ultimately, emotional resilience is about recognizing that we have the inner strength to face whatever life brings our way, and that our ability to overcome challenges is something we create and nurture within ourselves. The calmest people are the strongest. This statement may seem counterintuitive at first, as we often associate strength with power, aggression, or forcefulness. However, true strength is not about how loudly you can make your presence known or how forcefully you can assert yourself in every situation. The real strength lies in the ability to remain composed and centered, even in the face of chaos or adversity. Calmness, when practiced consistently, becomes a reflection of a deep inner strength that enables individuals to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience. Strength is often displayed in moments of crisis. When the world around us is falling apart, it's easy to panic, react impulsively, or let fear dictate our actions. However, those who have cultivated inner calmness possess a different kind of power. Instead of being swept away by the storm, they maintain a sense of clarity and focus, allowing them to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. This calm presence under pressure is a form of strength that enables them to make better decisions, think more clearly, and ultimately overcome challenges more effectively. People who are calm in difficult situations understand that external circumstances are often beyond their control. Rather than getting caught up in frustration or anxiety, they focus on what they can control, their responses. They know that emotional outbursts, panic, and stress do not solve problems. In fact, they often make things worse. By staying calm, they create space for rational thinking, problem solving, and finding solutions, even in the most challenging circumstances. Calmness also stems from emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage one's emotions, as well as recognize and influence the emotions of others. The calmest individuals are often those who have developed a high level of self-awareness. They know their triggers, and they understand how their emotions can influence their behavior. Because of this, they are able to pause, take a step back, and make conscious decisions, even when emotions are running high. This level of control over one's emotions is not a sign of weakness, but an indication of profound inner strength. The calmest people also tend to have a strong sense of purpose and self-assurance. They know who they are and what they stand for, which makes them less likely to be swayed by external pressures or temporary setbacks. This inner confidence allows them to stay grounded and focused on their long-term goals, even when faced with obstacles. They don't feel the need to prove their strength through loud actions or displays of power. Instead, their quiet strength is shown through their ability to remain steady, to show empathy, and to stay true to their values, no matter the circumstance. True strength, therefore, is not about how forcefully you can confront challenges, but about how calmly and effectively you can handle them. The ability to remain composed, even when life feels overwhelming, is a reflection of deep inner resilience. Calmness in the face of adversity requires immense emotional maturity and mental discipline. Those who have mastered this skill can navigate life with a sense of poise and dignity, never letting external pressures dictate their peace of mind. In conclusion, the calmest people are often the strongest because they possess the ability to stay centered and composed, regardless of external circumstances. Their strength comes from within, built on emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and the ability to respond rather than react. They understand that true power lies not in the force of one's actions, but in the grace with which one handles life's challenges. This quiet, unshakable strength is the hallmark of those who have learned the art of staying calm under pressure.